it's Brenda, and you're watching The Brenda Show. Wieners! Bitches, and that's on period. Happy Pride, my gays. Joy to the world. Put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip. We dip, y'all. Today we have dips. If y'all couldn't tell, we have the most wonderful cream spinach dip, which we can also use as a beautiful side. It is so delicious. And today we also have the most incredible pulled apart baked brie with a sweet and salty jam. And to top it all off, we have a beautiful peppermint bark martini. Let's begin. All right, y'all, to start with this creamed spinach recipe, it's perfect as a side dish or for dipping. I like it both ways. You know, I'm your favorite side chick after all. We're gonna need some frozen spinach in a bag, mozzarella, Parmesan cheese, onion, garlic, cream cheese, butter, heavy whipping cream, and salt and pepper. All right, y'all, to start this spinach dip, I'm gonna go ahead and take 3 bags of spinach and throw it into a bowl. 3 bags seems like a lot of veggies for the holidays, but it's not, because we're gonna decorate it with lots of cheese and dairy, have you on the toilet for days. I'm just kidding. We're gonna throw this in and hello, get out. This is supposed to be great value. Let's get the value out of here. But the thing is, with a spinach, there is a lot of water. This 1 bag, it looks like a lot, but let me tell y'all, it's gonna only last me probably just 1 sitting, because this is absolutely delicious. We're gonna go ahead and take these 3 bags, pop them in, throw them in the microwave, defrost them for about 2 minutes, and get them going. By the way, in my last video, I've been getting a lot of comments on my Kris Jenner hair on social media. Kris and I actually go way back as friends, so I'd just let you know that she copied me. And that's on period. But in the meantime, while y'all talk about my hair again, looking like Kris Jenner, I'm gonna throw this in the microwave, let that defrost, and I'm gonna get my pan started on medium-high heat, and I'll be right back with the fixings. All right, so as that is going in the microwave, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in 2 tablespoons of butter. We are very familiar with the smell of butter here in our kitchen. All right, so to this, I'm gonna add 1 medium onion into my butter. Not too large, because we don't want too much onion flavor up in there. And I've diced these earlier. Just gonna get this going in with the butter. And you wanna just stir this till they become translucent. And the fun thing about dips is there's just so much. You don't know what family members are gonna bring their dishes to the party. Oh, there's my microwave. But you don't know what dishes people are gonna bring to the party. So you wanna just have a lot of variety there. So we have dips today, fixins, and you wanna save room for dessert, because it's just gonna be a feast fest, all right? So let me grab my spinach and I'll be right back.
I was a rockhead back in my day.
Woo! Okay, as my onions get translucent, I'm gonna go ahead and drain my spinach into this colander right here. As I got my fancy nails, I'm gonna go ahead and use a spatula today. And you wanna squeeze as much water out as you can, because the last thing you want is a soggy ass spinach dip. It's disgusting. That's how Peter used to make his spinach dip, but he's vegan, so water is his only option. Right, Peter? But if this was for someone like Peter, you can most definitely use water. But to make it vegan, you can use a can of coconut milk, vegan butter, you can use vegan cheeses, but it's not about Peter today, it's about me. Ooh, I need to stir these fucking onions. They're getting burnt. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my garlic right about now. And right here I have 6 cloves of garlic. This is not a date night meal. That's why I do it for the holidays and not for Valentine's Day, because this is just absolutely pungent, and you don't want spinach in your teeth. Do it for the holidays. And we're gonna go ahead and heat this up for about 30 seconds until it becomes fragrant, because if you put garlic too early, it gets a little burnt and then it gets a little bitter, and that's not what we want. And right here to this, I'm gonna go ahead and add half a block of cream cheese and about a cup of heavy cream. Okay, so this is what we're looking for right here. A beautiful creamy consistency. Looks so heavy. And what are we gonna add? More cheese. So I have a cup of mozzarella cheese that I'm gonna add to this. Don't leave me. Don't cheat on me. And to this, I'm gonna add about half a cup of Parmesan cheese. What are we gonna do? Melt this. Okay, so this is what we're looking for, a beautiful cheesy mixture that looks about ready for the star of this recipe, because we got more. This is ready for the spinach. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this in. I have drained as much water as I can. If you take a look at my bowl right here, Peter, there is a lot of water left in there. And y'all know what this is good for? You're vegans. Peter, bon appetit. I'm gonna set this aside for Peter and my producer Fabian next door because they will eat that up. A little salt and pepper will do them good.
Come on now. Come on, boy. You're big. Boy, come here. Get. I am so sorry. Fabian, don't embarrass me.
I'm gonna go ahead and fold in my spinach right here. And this is where the magic happens. And if you don't want to use spinach, you're not a big spinach fan, you can use artichokes. This would be great with canned artichokes. Just drain them and pop them in at this point. You can use olives, kale, Swiss chard. I'm a classic kind of girl, so I'm gonna use spinach today. But I'm gonna mix this, add a little salt and pepper, and I'll be right back to show you how we plate it. Now, say action, you're directing. Before I devour all of this, let's move on to the next dip. Okay, y'all, so next we have the most incredible pulled apart baked brie in a sourdough bread bowl. Let me show you what we need. All right, so there's two parts. We have the bread and the bowl and the beautiful, delicious jam. So for the bowl, we're gonna need a large sourdough round piece of bread. We're gonna need some olive oil, butter, and garlic. And for our sweet and salty jam, we're gonna need some balsamic vinegar, maple syrup, bacon jam, I know, I'll get into that later, some raspberries, of course, the star, our brie, and some parsley, rosemary, and thyme. Let's begin. All right, to start off with our jam, I'm gonna go ahead and take my bacon jam. Bacon jam, what the hell is bacon jam? I actually found this at Walmart, y'all. I'm gonna throw this 3/4 of a cup into here, but you can use any jam. I found this next to the jam, the other jams in there, and if you don't have bacon jam near you, you can actually use raspberry jam and throw in some of your own bacon in there and just mix it in. Raspberry jam, some bacon, and you're good to go. I'm gonna throw in about 1/2 cup of raspberries. To this, we're gonna add more sweetness, a tablespoon of maple syrup, about a teaspoon of balsamic, just to cut through all that sweetness. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this on about medium heat. Let that get going, and I'm gonna start on my garlic butter right over here. So over here for our garlic butter, we're gonna have about 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 clove of garlic, and about a tablespoon of olive oil. And I'm gonna pop this into the microwave about 40 seconds, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna let this go for about 3 to 5 minutes. You'll see the raspberries break down, wait till the liquid is evaporated, and wait till it gets all ooey and gooey. The butter right here is gonna be for our sourdough brie bowl. We're gonna go ahead and coat this, and this is just gonna bring out the flavor of the sourdough and really complement our jam. I'm gonna show y'all how to cut it, put the brie in there, jam it in there, and show how I get my signature pull-apart technique. I'm into chopping these days, chopping my hair, chopping bread. God knows what's next. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all my signature cutting technique on the sourdough bread bowl. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is take a serrated knife and work my way around the sourdough bread bowl. Be very careful, you don't wanna lose a finger like Peter did last year. And we're gonna go ahead and cut that, take our top off, and I'm gonna go ahead and tear that apart. Now with the bottom half, I'm gonna go ahead and take my brie cheese and take a paring knife and trace around that brie cheese just to get the shape of it, because it's gonna sit right in there. After I dig that bread out and set it aside, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the edges and cut about 1 inch halfway down the bottom half. Not all the way, not to break it apart. And that is my signature cutting technique. Oh, and I almost forgot. I'm gonna put this on a baking sheet and coat it with a wonderful garlic butter and get in the nooks and crannies. And let's go ahead and throw in our brie. All right, now it's time for the brie. I'm gonna go ahead and trim the top off. This is just flour. I'm gonna nibble on this in the meantime while this bakes, but I'm gonna go ahead and trim this off very thinly. That way you can expose the brie, and that way our bacon jam sweet and salty can melt in right on top. How gorgeous. I'm gonna pop this in. Look how perfectly this fits. It's just absolutely darling. Save this in my back pocket. Now over here, look at this bacon jam. The raspberries have melted. This is the texture that you wanna look for. Now to this, I'm gonna go ahead and add my parsley, rosemary, and thyme into this. Mix this all in. Now what I'm gonna do is just pour this just on the Brie. Oh, so festive. This is gonna be a showstopper. Cover the Brie so it looks like a little surprise. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven at 375 for about 10 minutes and we're gonna go ahead and tear up some bread. All right, now for the remaining of our bread, this is actually gonna be our dip-in, friend, for our spinach dip and also our little Brie, our baked Brie. I'm gonna go ahead and just tear it up into bite-sized pieces, and this is just gonna be lovely with our little garlic butter. So go ahead and tear it up. All right, I have taken this out of the oven. I'm gonna have my little bite-sized pieces of sourdough join my friend over here. Just throw this next to it. I'm gonna go ahead and take and drizzle our garlic butter right on top. No bread left behind. Come here. I'm gonna go ahead and toss this. Watch my titties. Let's not get them in the way. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this and pop this in the oven for another 10 minutes at 375. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. My friend Westwood Blvd would say, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Look how delicious and festive this looks. I think I'm gonna actually try it for you guys because I just can't resist myself. I've been cooking all day. This is just so beautiful for the table. I cannot wait. Oh, bless me. This seems very, look, do you see how ooey and gooey this is? I hope I don't burn myself. We don't have paramedics today. Oh, come let us adore him. Christ our Lord. Wow, this is just delicious. It's tart, it's sweet, it's absolutely divine. I need to wash this down with an amazing drink. Let me show you what we have today. All right, so today we are doing the most festive peppermint bark martini, and what we're gonna need for that is some Irish cream, some half and half, vodka, peppermint schnapps, and for our rim, fun little rim, because we love getting rimmed, we get our little melted chocolate and crushed candy cane peppermint candies. Let's begin. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a bottle of Kettle One. On Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, on Vixen. Who's next? Comet and Cupid and Donner and Vixen. Fuck Rudolph. We don't need her. Okay, so to our cocktail shaker, we're gonna go ahead and add 2 counts of Kettle One, 1 count of Irish cream liqueur, a splash, this goes a long way, a splash of peppermint schnapps, about 1 count of half and half. We're gonna throw it in there and mix it all up. All right, to get that peppermint bark effect, I've taken a martini glass and I've dipped the rim in some melted chocolate and decorated with some peppermint candies. Look how festive that is. And here we go. If this ain't Christmas, I don't know what is. How Gorgina does that look? Happy holidays. Wow. You won't be able to find the North Star with that one. Sweet baby Jesus, I'm gonna need to wash that down with some spinach dip and baked Brie. Let me show you finished food. I'm fucked up. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Look at these lovely spread in front of me. We have our cream cheesy, delicious spinach dip. It can be used as a dip or a side with our toasted bread. And here we have our beautiful, incredible baked Brie sourdough bowl topped with a savory, sweet and salty bacon jam with raspberries. Last but not least, my favorite, my peppermint bark martini. Y'all, this was so much fun. Be sure to try this at home. Tag PatrickStarrr. Don't forget, when life gives you mess, Come to BS, the Brenda Show. And remember, live, laugh, loads. Live light, live life. I'm fucked up. I am fucked up. Live light, laugh, loads. Live, laugh. It doesn't fucking matter. Happy holidays.
Come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant.